welcome to the video. Today we're going to be filming a McLaren 570S. This is Tab, the owner of the McLaren. I actually filmed this a couple weeks ago, if you saw on my Instagram, but I wasn't happy with any of the clips, so we're back out today to kind of redo it. Thank you very much, Tab, for lending me his time to film it again. First McLaren on the channel. Very exciting. This is the first supercar. In my opinion, it's a supercar. I know it sits in the sports series within the McLaren range, but this is the first supercar I've ever been in. It's very, very quick, and it's deserving of the name supercar in my opinion. So, Tab, tell us a little bit about the car. How long have you had it, etc., etc.?
I've had the car for probably about 18 months now, and I have to say it's been a pleasure. Every single moment of owning this car has been fantastic. If you like cars, you like driving, it's brilliant. It handles like a go-kart and it's got power and then some. So, I mean, if you get the opportunity to own one of these ever, do it. Absolutely.
Okay, and then what about, I guess, the spec? This is in Storm Grey?
It is Storm Grey, yes. Correct, yeah.
It's got carbon ceramic brakes. So look.
Factory fit. You can actually get those deleted if you want and have stainless steel on there.
Okay.
If you want to save cost, but the lifetime of carbon ceramic brakes will way outlast the car.
Sure.
I think.
And then I believe the 540, kind of the predecessor to the 570S.
Yeah, discontinued, yeah.
But they had steels.
They did,
as standard,
Steels is a factory option, correct.
Okay, perfect. Anything else? You can get a carbon pack on this. I know there's a guy on YouTube who got a carbon pack. He spec'd up for like 200 grand. Yeah,
I mean, you can go crazy with the options as always, but I just kept it pretty standard because I think it works like this in this colour combo with the red calipers, not too over the top, subtle. But you know, if you go carbon, you get bigger paddles in the car, for example, little tweaks. But yeah not needed.
I mean, we'll have a look. This is the best part about getting a McLaren. Hey, even in their entry car. But I mean, you've got carbon even in here. I don't know if you can see that. I'll probably lay some B-roll over. But you've got carbon inside the car anyway, so
yeah,
I mean,
absolutely
it's not really
standard.
needed,
yeah, it's got more than enough carbon. If it has too much carbon, it looks like you bought it from Halfords.
Yeah, that's the problem. What else have we got? Sports exhaust?
No, standard exhaust on this one with the stealth colour option to make it blend in with the car a little bit better.
Sounds great anyway though. And you got this from brand new?
I did indeed, yeah, brand new. Yeah,
so
picked up in June of 2019.
Okay, and then, so I was reading up on the warranty on this the other day. Warranty is manufacturer's warranty for 3 years.
Correct, yeah.
And then after that, it's a £3,000 option. Oh no, £3,000 to extend the warranty every year, which is quite hefty.
Yeah, it is. I think if you're buying one second hand and it's run out of factory warranty, you need to ensure you've got a warranty on this because the cost of a new engine alone in this is going to be eye-watering, I think. Yeah,
and if you're going to be selling it on as well, that having an extended warranty is pretty important.
Absolutely correct, yeah.
Awesome. Well, we'll hop in, we'll go for a little drive and we can talk a little bit more about the car.
Cool.
Right, let's go.
Might want to hold it down a bit more.
Very different to mine.
Safety first, seatbelt on.
So we are on kind of the bumpiest road, bumpiest car park I've pretty much seen. Look at that pothole. Luckily, we've got nose lift. So nose lift is an option.
It is part of the security pack that I got as standard. I need it. I basically could not get into my driveway without it because there's quite a bump in the driveway.
I mean, you probably couldn't sell this car without a nose lift.
No, I think they're very low without the nose lift, and a very common problem on them is that they ground out pretty easily. So yeah, this is
tight.
Very tight indeed. All my driving capability coming into play here, thank you. That worked, okay.
Does sound good. Okay, so first thing we'll probably talk about is competition. I mean, this 570S sits around about 150 grand, so within that price bracket, you can get a Ferrari 458. I do believe you should get the 2011. The 2011 ones are around about 150 grand, but the dual clutch transmission in them aren't as good. So you want to go 2012, but then they kind of put out the price bracket. Didn't fancy 458?
No, I do appreciate Ferraris. I think they are great cars, but there's just a certain cliche that's attached to them, I think, that doesn't really do it for me. I've got the same thought process with Lamborghini as well. Lambos, I mean, they're good cars, but I don't know, I just think there's something about them that's that little bit more ostentatious, if you like. For me, the McLaren is all about fun. It's a fun car, very capable car, and of course it's UK, keeping it British, and they always say you should buy local. Well, McLaren at Woking are just 10 miles up the road from me, so what better way to buy a car?
How tall are you? Because I don't think you can fit in the Huracan either.
Yeah, I'm 6'6", so that is pretty tall and pretty much right on the boundaries of what you can fit into a car like this as well. And it's perfectly comfortable. I mean, the Lambo, the Huracan, that's definitely feels more cramped. The R8 is the same as well, more cramped, but they've just about managed to allow this. The original, the sort of the design DNA of this is Gordon Murray, right? And I've met Gordon Murray in person. He's also very tall, so maybe that's a hangover, and a good hangover if you're tall.
Okay, Nissan GTR.
Yeah, test driven one of those as well. I mean, it's a great car. It's fantastic. The engineering that's gone into it and what you get for just shy of 80 grand is absolutely bonkers. I mean, how they've got that into that car. I think they do sell each one at a loss, or just pretty much recovering the cost. But yeah, it's fantastic, fast, it's great. It's got all the features. It's very well built, very well put together. But the one thing that is weird about it is the driving position. It feels really high. It feels like you're sat on top of a bus. I don't know why it is, but yeah.
Because this is a carbon tub, this car, and I feel really low down. Have you still got the lift up?
No, the lift is down.
Okay, yeah. And so when I was driving, I'll probably put some clips over. When I was driving in convoy in front of this car, it looks really low, and it also gets a lot of attention as well. Okay, so sound, because Huracans, R8s, naturally aspirated V10 sound amazing. This is a bit Marmite.
Yeah, it is Marmite. I talk about that on my other clip as well. I think it's very sedate around town. It's nice and quiet, and it just kind of ticks over. But it's, as I say, flat plane crank, and when you start revving it, it revs very freely and sounds absolutely fantastic. It's very loud higher up the revs, and yeah, I mean, I love the sound of it, because to me it's more kind of racy, it's more buzzy, more F1 style, whereas the Mercs are a bit woofy, sound fantastic. But
and you touched on this in your channel. So Tab has actually started a YouTube channel. I don't know if I've mentioned this already. I'll link them down below. But you talk about because the AMG GT Black Series has gone to a flat plane crank.
That's correct. I believe Shmee has just got his allocation, and they've gone to a flat plane crank in that, and that's all due to breathability of the engine, right? There's only so much you can get out of cross plane. So yeah, I'm very pleased that they've done that.
Very different sound.
It'd be interesting to see how it sounds. Yeah, for sure.
All right, so obviously we're in a McLaren. There's a lot of forums, YouTube. A lot of people are talking badly about McLarens. Obviously, I think they're fantastic cars. I can understand where people are coming from, but what are your experiences in buying a 570? Because obviously you've heard about all the
I like you called it McLaren there, after an international airport. But anyway, yeah, for me the reliability has been good, apart from one very specific, very challenging, very interesting issue that I had with the car when I picked it up. It was pretty terminal, about 20 miles after picking it up. I don't want to go into too much detail, but I have to say that McLaren were absolutely brilliant about it. They had a loan car out and fixed my car within about 10 days or so. So I think the customer service has been fantastic.
And that was McLaren Ascot.
McLaren Ascot, correct? Yeah. There is a lot about reliability, and it's had a few niggles. I think what you've got to remember is each one of these is hand built, hand painted, and that, you know, is obviously going to result in the occasional niggle, I think. But it's all about how quickly they put it right for me, and they've been pretty good in that respect.
You recently had the servicing as well at McLaren Ascot, and you got given a 570 GT.
I did have a GT, yeah, correct.
S and GT. Well, S is a bit more softer. It's got a
the S is the firmer one. The S is the racy one. The GT is obviously the Grand Tourer, and I think a lot of that went into the new McLaren GT, the specific GT. But the 570 GT, unbelievable, great car. The ride was phenomenal. Our roads are very bumpy in Surrey, without doubt. Lots of potholes, and it can be a bit of a drag sometimes. But that GT soaked them up like you'd expect a Rolls Royce to. It was absolutely fantastic. The S is firmer, but still perfectly livable with.
Yeah, you could daily this. It's stiff. I would say my M2 Comp is stiffer than this. We're just pottering down the road right now. It feels perfectly dailyable. I'd say maybe the doors or the attention it gets would probably drive you away from that. But yeah, it's comfy to drive. It's great.
Yeah, the old AMG I had, the C63, and your M2 as well. I'd say there's an element of wood in the suspension. I don't know what it is about them. There's just kind of a lack of compliance. Yeah, very firm, but not so forgiving. But this, it's definitely very compliant, and it kind of bounces along the road quite nicely in a good way. But very handleable. That you can just turn it into corners and it'll obey every single one of your commands. It's fantastic.
Yeah, this thing sticks to the ground. When I'm going around corners in my M2, I know where the limit is, and I know when the back end's going to kind of kick out. But in this, it's probably because it's a mid-engine car. Mid-engine? Rear engine?
No, mid-engine, yeah. Rear engine, you're looking at 911s and the like. But mid-engine is good from a handling perspective, because effectively the car rotates around that midpoint of the engine, so you get that handling capability.
Yeah, it's just like it's on rails. Alright, thank you, Tab. I'll leave the video here. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like it, subscribe, the usual, and I'll see you in the next one.
Excellent.